Today's story is called The Terrors Beneath, Unveiling the Trypophobia Nightmare. In a small idyllic town, a series of unsettling events unfolds as residents begin to experience an unexplained and paralyzing fear of clustered holes. As the phobia spreads like a contagion, a young psychologist races against time to uncover the nightmarish source of their dread before it devours the town's sanity. Part 1. The Unsettling Outbreak. In the picturesque town of Havenwood, nestled among rolling hills and tranquil lakes, a creeping dread began to take hold. It started innocently enough, an odd aversion to honeycombs and beehives, but soon the fear of clustered holes escalated into something far more sinister. Residents reported sleepless nights, haunted by gruesome nightmares filled with grotesque patterns of holes. They awoke in cold sweats, their hearts racing, unable to escape the irrational terror that had gripped them. It was as if the very sight of clustered holes had become a harbinger of dread. Dr. Emily Hartman, a young psychologist who had recently moved to Havenwood, was intrigued and alarmed by the sudden outbreak of trypophobia, a fear of clustered holes or irregular patterns. She had studied rare phobias in her academic career, but this was unlike anything she had encountered. Emily's curiosity led her to investigate the town's history and its inhabitants. She discovered that the fear had spread rapidly, originating from a seemingly innocuous incident involving a mysterious artifact found in the woods. The artifact, resembling a grotesque honeycomb of holes, was now the epicenter of the town's growing hysteria. As Emily delved deeper into the mystery, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was something more sinister lurking beneath the surface of Havenwood. The terror of trypophobia had taken hold, and she was determined to uncover its dark secrets. Part 2. The Hive's Malevolence. Emily's investigation led her to the heart of the woods, where the mysterious artifact had been discovered. She found it hidden beneath a canopy of ancient trees, a grotesque, honeycomb-like structure that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. As she examined the artifact, a sense of unease washed over her. The holes in the structure seemed to shift and writhe, playing tricks on her eyes. Emily couldn't deny that it triggered a visceral discomfort, even in her, a psychologist trained to understand fear. To uncover the truth, Emily reached out to those affected by the trypophobia outbreak. She conducted interviews, trying to trace the origins of their fears. It became clear that the artifact was the epicenter, as those who had come into contact with it experienced the most profound terror. The townspeople's accounts were chilling. They spoke of waking nightmares where they were submerged in a sea of holes, unable to escape. Some claimed to have seen grotesque creatures emerging from the clustered voids, whispering maddening secrets that threatened to consume their sanity. Emily's own research into trypophobia led her to believe that the artifact had tapped into a primal fear, one that existed deep within the human psyche. It was as if the holes themselves were gateways to a malevolent realm that defied reason. Determined to unravel the mystery, Emily sought the counsel of experts in obscure phobias and the occult. Their warnings were dire, cautioning her against delving deeper into the artifact's dark influence. But Emily was resolute. She couldn't let the terror of trypophobia continue to plague Havenwood. As she stood before the pulsating artifact in the heart of the woods, Emily knew that confronting its malevolence head-on was the only way to uncover the truth. The Hive's secrets beckoned, and she was prepared to face the nightmares it held. Part 3. The Abyss Beckons. Emily's relentless pursuit of the trypophobia nightmare led her to consult the ancient texts of forgotten folklore and occult practices. In dusty tomes, she discovered references to a malevolent force known as the Abyss of Clusters, a dark entity said to dwell in the spaces between clustered holes. According to the texts, the artifact in the woods was a gateway to this nightmarish realm, a realm where the deepest fears of humanity took form. The whispered secrets, the grotesque creatures, and the irrational terror, all were manifestations of the Abyss of Clusters. Emily couldn't ignore the eerie parallels between the ancient texts and the horrors that had befallen Havenwood. It seemed that the artifact had somehow bridged the gap between reality and this eldritch dimension, allowing the malevolent force to seep into the minds of the townspeople. To confront the trypophobia nightmare, Emily knew she would have to enter the Abyss of Clusters itself. Armed with knowledge gleaned from her research, she began a perilous ritual, drawing sigils and invoking ancient incantations in the presence of the artifact. The ground trembled, and the artifact's holes widened, forming a swirling vortex that beckoned Emily to step through. With a deep breath and a profound sense of trepidation, she crossed the threshold into the abyss. What she encountered on the other side defied description, a realm of shifting patterns, nightmarish creatures, and whispered fears made manifest. Emily realized that she had entered the heart of the Trypophobia nightmare, and it was here that she would face the ultimate test of her will. The malevolent force of the abyss of clusters manifested before her, a grotesque entity of writhing holes and darkness. It whispered incomprehensible horrors, seeking to drive her to the brink of madness. But Emily was determined to uncover the truth and banish the terror once and for all. As she confronted the abyss, Emily couldn't help but wonder if the town of Havenwood could ever truly be free from the Trypophobia nightmare. The answer lay within the depths of this eldritch dimension, and she was prepared to face its darkest secrets. Part 4. Confronting the Abyss. In the eldritch realm of the abyss of clusters, Emily found herself engulfed by a nightmarish kaleidoscope of shifting patterns and grotesque entities. It was a place where irrational fears took on tangible, horrifying forms, and sanity teetered on the edge of oblivion. The malevolent force that dwelled within the abyss confronted Emily, its form constantly changing, a maddening dance of holes and voids. It whispered dark secrets and nightmarish truths that threatened to shatter her resolve. But Emily had come prepared, armed with knowledge and a determination to uncover the source of the Trypophobia nightmare. As she delved deeper into the abyss, Emily encountered townspeople who had been ensnared by its clutches. Their minds had been twisted by the relentless terror, and they wandered aimlessly, consumed by their fears. Emily knew that she couldn't save them all, but she was determined to find a way to free Havenwood from this nightmare. Her journey through the abyss led her to a colossal chamber, where the true source of the terror lay, an ancient, colossal, hive-like structure pulsating with a malevolent energy. It was the heart of the abyss of clusters, and Emily knew that she had to confront it to banish the nightmare from Havenwood. With sheer determination, she approached the hive, her heart pounding with fear and resolve. The hive's grotesque patterns seemed to writhe and contort, threatening to overwhelm her senses. But Emily drew upon her knowledge and the strength of her will, refusing to succumb to the abyss's madness. As she reached out to touch the hive, a blinding flash of light erupted from within. The malevolent force let out a deafening shriek, and the patterns of clustered holes unraveled, dissipating into the darkness. Emily had triumphed over the source of the Trypophobia nightmare. Exhausted and shaken, she emerged from the abyss, carrying with her the knowledge of how to seal the gateway and prevent further outbreaks. The town of Havenwood would finally be free from the relentless terror that had gripped it. But as Emily returned to the waking world, she couldn't help but wonder if the nightmare had truly been banished, or if it lurked in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity to resurface. The terrors beneath Havenwood's serene facade would forever haunt her, a reminder that some horrors defied explanation. Part 5. The town's redemption. With the malevolent hive in the abyss sealed, Emily emerged from the eldritch realm, her mind scarred by the horrors she had witnessed. But her mission was complete. The source of the Trypophobia nightmare had been vanquished. Havenwood, once gripped by irrational fear and haunted by grotesque patterns, slowly began to heal. The townspeople, released from the relentless terror, found solace in their newfound peace. The nightmares that had plagued their sleep began to fade, replaced by a sense of relief and hope. Emily had become a hero in the eyes of the townspeople, the psychologist who had faced the abyss and emerged victorious. She shared her knowledge, ensuring that the gateway to the abyss of clusters remained sealed, protecting Havenwood from future outbreaks. As time passed, the memory of the Trypophobia nightmare became a distant shadow, a cautionary tale shared among the townsfolk. The woods, once a place of dread, returned to a tranquil beauty, and the eerie artifact was buried deep within the earth, its dark influence forever silenced. Havenwood reclaimed its serenity, and Emily, though forever marked by the horrors she had faced, found solace in knowing that she had saved the town from an unimaginable fate. The terrors beneath were banished, and the town's redemption was complete. Yet, as Emily gazed upon the tranquil lakes and rolling hills of Havenwood, she couldn't help but wonder if other horrors, equally inexplicable and nightmarish, lurked in the depths of the world. The trypophobia nightmare had been conquered, but the mysteries of the universe remained, a testament to the enduring power of fear and the resilience of the human spirit. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel to support us.